Well, for more on that story, let's take you to Reuben Maleka. He's the Assistant General Manager of the Public Servants Association. Reuben, good evening to you. At this point, what will it take to stop the strike from going ahead?
Yeah, good evening, Kathy and SG. Yes, of course, we have said in our strike notice that the PSA is ready 24 hours, 365 days to negotiate and find an impasse to this particular salary round of negotiations, where the employer has taken a very strange stance. I think that has never happened since 1994, where the employer would unilaterally implement without a resolution. But it's not something strange because they have already in April 2020, took away Resolution 1 of 2018 without, warning us, and they just not implemented it. So we are ready to negotiate. We are ready to make sure that the employer stop the 3% implementation, which is not a resolution. Then that is the only way that can stop the action that is looming. Come Thursday, total shutdown. We expect a huge number of PSA members, supporters of PSA, to take action in this particular action that will be rolling out throughout the country on the 10th of November.
At this point, we have no reason to believe that government is going to change the status of its offer. So let's then talk about what happens on Thursday. What does the state of the shutdown mean, and which services are you expecting to be the most affected?
Look, we expect that, firstly, if you have to go and look for a death certificate at Home Affairs, you will not get one. If you have to leave this country on Thursday, you will not get any processing of any individual, whether people or goods, at the ports of entries, because there will not be any immigration services throughout the country. We also expect that if you go to the Department of Transport, whether it's the licensing or whatever service that you can request at the department, you will not find anybody else. The Justice Department, courts, they will not be in service. So those are the basic services that we expect that they will be interrupted, because it's not only the question of whether it will be only PSA members. Any supporter of PSA or any member of a trade union who is a public servant is welcome to join the mass action, is protected, and we expect that to some extent, some of the teachers, we know that there's been called that the majority of teacher unions are not in support of the strike action, but we know the plight of teachers themselves. We know some of the teachers that even before month end, they are unable to make ends meet, to even go to work. So we can't expect that teachers can all time be sacrificing without the cause, because ultimately they are public servants. They've been punished for 3 years without salary increase. So we expect that the teachers will also be joining this mass action, and where they are, some would also have to embark on some sort of a stay away to show solidarity and to show cause that they are also public servants. They also deserve to be paid increase like anybody else. As we know that the public office bearers, which are ministers, have received 3% backdated for 2 years. You can just make a simple calculation of a 2 million salary on a 3% backdated for 2 years, and compare it with a public servant salary who earns 200,000 per annum, who will only receive 3%. And come next year, April, a public servant is going to lose the cash gratuity of 1,000 rand, which means that this drop of in ocean of 3% will obviously be very naked come 1st April, because the cash gratuity, the employer is going to take it away. And that is when public servants would realize that why PSA was calling for mass action, why PSA has to insist despite the unilateral implementation. Whether the employer implements, the public servants must know that is not enough, because come next year, they'll be much poorer.
All right, Reuben Maleka, will have to leave it there. He's the Assistant General Manager of the Public Servants Association. One wonders just how much more of an impact then delays and disruptions at our ports this country can actually afford now in the wake of the strike that's coming on Thursday.